week's webisode of The Better Half. I'm Kyndra in Aubin, and this is Katy Hartley, and we're going to take a look back at what's been going on this week.
That's right, Kyndra. Well, first off, Happy New Year to you. Yeah. Did you have a good New Year's?
Actually, mine was really boring and quiet, and I fell asleep about 11:30, and then woke up and looked at the clock at midnight and was like, Happy New Year, and I went into bed.
Right
so
on.
It was pretty lame. Yours?
Kind of sounds like mine, actually. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Actually, you know what? I was trying to think really hard about this, about what to change, and honestly, the only thing I can think about is maybe to be more patient. Like, I'm always yelling at people when I'm driving, you know, and maybe I just need to just chill out and be a little more patient.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I have one that's kind of similar to probably a lot of people's. I'm trying to cut down on the sugar. I can polish off a large bag of peanut butter M&Ms in like 30 seconds, so I'm going to try to cut down on that.
If that's the worst thing you do, then I think you're all right.
Not too bad. Well, speaking of New Year's resolutions, we thought it might be kind of fun to pick a New Year's resolution for some local teams. Let's start with the Cardinals. Kyndra, what's your New Year's resolution for the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, we know that there are a lot of things that they kind of need to sort out during the offseason, and everyone's going to talk about the quarterback situation, but I'm going to talk about Calais Campbell. I think they really need to make sure that they sign Calais Campbell. I mean, he had career numbers in solo tackles and tackles overall, sacks this season. I think he's really proved himself an important part of the team, and he had 3 blocked field goals. So, and he's a great guy in the locker room, and he's young, so he's got a huge future. I think their New Year's resolution should be to sign Calais Campbell.
I like that one. That's a good one. Well, I think the Cardinals need to trim the fat. They need to put the right people in the right places. Ken Wisenhunt needs to figure out if he's going to be in charge of calling all offensive plays or he is going to give that to his offensive coordinator. I want to see them just slim down a little bit. You know, a lot of people will be doing that in the new year, but that's what I want to see from the Cardinals.
I totally thought when you said trim the fat, you were going straight to Levi Brown. I did. I thought you were going straight to Levi Brown on that one, but instead you were just talking about like overall personnel.
Just in general, just in general. Well, how about the Phoenix Suns starting off the season? How about them?
I think it's a little rough right now. I think they're still looking not totally put together, and a lot of people are surprised, but I think they need to make sure they keep Steve Nash and Grant Hill healthy for this team to have any chance. Now, I do like Ronnie Price. I like Shannon Brown. I like those additions to help him out, kind of take some of the load. Sebastian Telfair maybe will get in there every once in a while, but if they don't keep Steve Nash healthy, I think they're going to be really, really in big trouble.
And I think the Phoenix Suns need to find their identity, figure out who they are. They've had several over the last couple of years, depending on what kind of players they had in the court. You know, the pick and roll days are over. They were a running team. Then we heard Aubin Gentry say they were not a jogging, they were a jogging team. So I think they just need to figure out what is going to work for them with this group of people. It's the same starters as before, but how these bench guys are now going to fit in to what their scheme on the court is going to be.
Yeah, and it could take a little while. I mean, like you said, it's the same starters that ended last season. For some reason, it's just taking a little bit of time to gel. So we'll see.
And some other college football that's going on right now. All the bowl games happening. How many bowl games do we have to choose from? But
35.
Let's pick the best and worst. I'll go first. My best bowl game I thought was the Sugar Bowl. Great matchup. I wasn't sure how Michigan was going to come out and play, and I thought it was fun. It was sloppy, but it was fun football to watch.
Well, I liked the matchup, but I did think it was a little bit sloppy, at least the first half. You know, but it's nice to see a close game, an exciting game. So even if it comes down to the wire. Me personally, I really liked the Fiesta Bowl because of the competition, and it's a higher level bowl game. And of course, being added, it also adds a little bit more excitement. And, you know, with so many bowl games, you sit and watch on your couch. I can only handle so many. The Fiesta is probably the first game that I watched from start to finish, and great, exciting game. And, you know, I just thought that was a good, really well-played game and 2 really high kind of octane teams.
Well, I thought the Fiesta Bowl was the worst bowl of all the bowls that have happened so far. Not because of the matchup, but because Tiger Woods was there. He was selected as an honorary captain of Stanford, which is why I think they lost, because he sucks at life. And look at him. He needs a stylist. I mean, the guy is just all around. Why is he still around? Nobody cares about you, Tiger.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw the kind of like whitewashed jeans that were slightly tapered on the bottom, because when I was about 10 feet away from him on the sideline, I was like, really, dude? Like, you have a lot of money, you know? I mean, can't you just at least get a pair of dark wash jeans? But I personally, I'm okay with Tiger Woods. I mean, yes, did he cheat on his wife, and was he a terrible person and husband? Absolutely, and father to top it off. But at least as far as we know, he doesn't beat his wife or, you know, choke her or throw phone books or anything. So he's ahead in that game.
But how funny is that? You have like Andrew Luck, who's the epitome of a great guy on Stanford, and then you have their honorary captain as some jerk I don't get it.
Second chances, and you know
Whatever.
what? Maybe the skeletons in Luck's closet will come out once he hits the NFL.
I don't think so.
You
I
never
hope
know
not.
with these guys.
I hope not. Well, speaking of thumbs down, how about Serena Williams? She had some crazy stuff to say in a press conference about tennis. Let's take a look at what she had to say. She says, I mean, I don't love tennis today, but I'm here and I can't live without it. So I'm still here and I don't want to go anywhere anytime soon. Yikes. I think she probably crushed some dreams of some young girls who really looked up to her by saying that.
Well, first of all, I can't blame her if she's burnt out. I mean, you know what I mean? Your life, that's
Sure.
all she's been doing since probably she was like 4 or whatever time she started tennis. So I can't blame her if she's burned out. But my feeling is if you don't love it anymore, get out.
Right.
And that's what every pro athlete you almost ever hear from says. You know, if when I don't love it anymore and I don't love coming to the gym or the field or the court, whatever it is, then that's the time to get out. You can't just use it as a means of living. I think if you don't enjoy what you're doing, she's got the financial means to get out. Not everybody in the real world can do that. You have to grind through your crappy job if you have one, but she has the ability to get out.
Well, and she didn't even end it there. She continued on. They asked her another follow-up question. Here's what she had to say.
Well, it's not that I've fallen out of it. I've actually never liked sports, and I never understood how I became an athlete. And I don't like working out. I don't like anything that has to do with working physically. So now if it involves sitting down or shopping, I'm excellent at that.
I don't like working out. I like shopping. Really? Get over yourself, Serena. That makes me so angry. 10% of people would kill for a job right now, let alone to rake in the kind of money that she does. If you don't like it, quit. If you don't like your job, get out. Nobody wants to hear you bitching about this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, but it makes me crazy to hear that kind of stuff.
Well, and especially, you know, such a small percentage of the population can play college, let alone professionally at just about anything, you know, and there's people that would give anything to have that kind of ability and make it to that next level. So she does sound pretty ungrateful there, and it's unfortunate because you're right. I mean, people are struggling right now, and people look up to her, and if you don't love it, I don't mind her honesty, but get out. You know what I mean?
Well,
just
shut
when you
your pretty
retire,
little mouth.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
when you
nobody
retire,
needs
just
to
be
hear
like,
that.
get out. You know, I think you just need to end it. And who cares if you can go shopping all the time? And she looks like she needs to work out a little bit more, honestly.
Well,
anyways.
speaking of which,
She's got some biceps. But.
Let's go shopping, Kyndra. We're out of time for today. She's Kyndra D. St. Aubin. You can follow her on Twitter at Kyndra620. You can follow me at FunKaty620. We'll be back next week with another webisode of The Better Half.